Hey, lovely people of the internet, it's Gabriel and welcome to Word. It's been a very long time since I've had a conversation like this with you guys. One-on-one chat, if not for my podcast. So today I decided to do this kind of video where I talk about applications that I use as a medical student / a medical professional in my journey through medical school. So if it's something that really interests you, please do well to stay glued. Don't forget to subscribe and also leave a like as well as a comment in the comment section. And well, if you're a returning subscriber, I really appreciate you. You are the best. Let's get straight into it. A disclaimer though, none of these software producers have paid me to do this kind of video, and so it's not a promotional video. Well, if they decide to sponsor me in the future, why not? For it. I'm going to start off with Notion. Now, Notion is a platform which helps you organize your life. From Monday to Friday, even it weekend, any time of the day, you can organize your life with it. But what I use Notion for is just organizing my notes most of the time. For instance, if I have anything that has to do with PDF, studying in class, lecturers note, I just dump it in there and name it whatever name I want to name it. And so it's really helpful when I really want to go back and know what I have in there. All I have to do is just scroll through and then know where I place this and how I name it, and boom, I have it. So I really group it as well, where I have all biological notes in one place, anatomical notes, my 4th year notes, they are all well grouped. So this is some templates I really created for myself, which is very helpful whenever I have juniors coming into the medical school, because this is not the time for me to tell them that, look, even you have this note, look for this note and have it. All I have to do is give them my templates, and it's easy for them to have access to. Then again, it also helps in collaborative studies. For instance, I have friends all over the world doing medicine, and I don't have to, contact them to send me their notes or whatever PDF they think might be helpful to me. All I have to do is tell them to drop it in my templates if I give them an access. And so it's really, really helpful. As a student who is preparing for an examination or revision, all you have to do is just drop your flashcards in there, open it as long as you want it, and then you have access to them and you read it. Well, you can also use this as a medical professional. For instance, if you are in the hospital and you have a particular case you really want to follow up on, or even write a case report about, just dump whatever information you have, biological analysis, being it picture, whatever, just put in there. What I normally do is I take pictures of whatever document I lay hand on in the hospital, drop it in Notion, and then have access to it later on. And so that's how I go about it. Then again, as a student, you really have a lot on your plate, especially a medical student. And so you really want to know what to do and what time to do it, what to study and what time to study. Notion have you covered. All you have to do is just organize your calendar very well, and then you have it. Now, if you really want to have my template, you can just let me know in the comment section. And all I'm asking for you is just subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and I will send you the link. It's very, very simple as that. Just leave a comment that you need my template. Well, even if you are not a medical student, you can also have my template. All you have to do is just change certain things whenever you are done downloading my template, or look on it and do as you wish for your own thing, because this has really helped me, and I know it's really going to help you. Even if you are not a medical student, all you have to do is just look at mine and just have your inspiration out of it. That's basically what I would say. So Notion is one thing you can also take advantage of as a medical student. As a student in general, have your template, sell it to others and make money off it, because that's really I'll talk about this in some other video, how to make money as a student. Notion is one of them. Learn how to use it, learn how to organize, and then you can do it for a lot of people and have some cash coming in for you. Now, Meure is a case sharing platform which most people can take advantage of, being a medical student or a medical professional. Now, this is a platform where a lot of cases are shared, real world cases, not something that someone has literally made up. Now, this is the reason why most of the patients are anonymous, as well as you, the individual sharing the case. You can also choose to be anonymous. This is really interesting because it is being categorized in specialties. For instance, if you are someone who is into cardiology, all you have to do is just involve yourself in cases that has to do with cardiology. One interesting thing about Meure is that, for instance, if you find yourself in a tropical zone where all you see is malaria, you can get to know about certain diseases around the world. All you have to do is hop on Meure and read about the cases, and also contribute as well, because it's basically like the Instagram of medicine, where people put cases and you all share ideas. Now, you can also link up with people and then professionals in your domain, so that you get to know what's really happening in the world of medicine. I really love this platform as well, because you get to know the images of whatever. They don't just put whatever case it is. They put the biological analysis, they put the imagery, they even take picture of the condition. So it makes it easier for you to learn whenever you see other conditions in your day-to-day activities. So it's really, really important to take advantage of it as a medical professional, and not only as that, as also a medical student. Because someone who's going to write an exams, you might have seen this condition. Sometimes they even put their EKG up there so you can know what's really happening. And it's really interesting. You should just check it out. If it's something that really interests you, just check in the description. I will leave the link up there. One interesting thing about the Meure is that you can have it on App Store. You can also have it on the Google Play Store. I love it to have it in the web form because I love the images to be looking at me into my face, where I see the images, the x-rays and stuff like that. So you can take advantage of this as a medical student and make the best out of it. So Meure is one of the applications I used most of the time. Now, Medcap is a comprehensive and up-to-date platform that has to do with medicine. Anything that has to do with medicine research, it's all in there. Now, why would I recommend this to you as a medical student or as a medical professional? Now, medicine evolves each and every day, right? And so you have to know what's really happening so that you treat your patients very, very well. And so if you are someone who's really interested, just like someone who hop on Instagram and want to know what's really happening in the world of entertainment, you can also hop on Medcap to know what's really happening in the world of medicine. It's so simple as that. Now, aside that, you can also know about some drug guidelines. For instance, treating your patients might not be the same as 10 years ago. Things are evolving and things are changing. So you get to know how to treat your patient when you have such conditions. And so that's why it's really important to take advantage of this platform. Then again, some drugs can be very interactive. And so you can't give drug A to a drug someone who is already on track B. So you have to know which drugs are very interactive in order to avoid them and not to cause complications. That is why you have to take advantage of this application. Then again, as a medical student, professors really want to know if you're really up to date when it comes to learning, right? And so you need this application to keep yourself up to date so that you can sometimes even correct your professor. So he will be wondering, how come you know about this without him knowing? So the application is just called Medcap. You can take advantage of it, up to date, whatever research it is that you really want to know. It's all in there. One interesting thing about Medcap is that it has a forum where you get to know about people who write articles. Get in touch with them. Ask them whatever you want to ask about their articles and how they go about it. I mean, this is really, really helpful and it will go a very long way to help you. So you can take advantage of it. Well, I can't have this conversation with you guys without talking about MDcak. MDcak is basically the calculator of medicine. What most of you guys don't know is that medicine is mostly about probabilities. For instance, when someone enters into the ED with chest pain, it's up to you, the doctor, to be able to tell if the person is having a chest pain, a pulmonary embolism, or an aortic dissection. Now, how do you do this? You need a score. Sometimes your clinical examination might not be enough. With this score, you can be able to tell, for instance, the score of well, you are able to tell that this guy is really having pulmonary embolism, and so you need to focus whatever you're doing on pulmonary embolism. And so you have other scores like the gray score that can also help you know if the person is having heart attack, which can be severe. Now, then again, this is really interesting because the score also helps you, calculate certain things like osmolarity, like you want to know the pH of a patient from certain other values. And so it's really, really important. You are able to know the clearance of your patient if it's having, an acute urinary, disease. All these things are really, really important because it helps you, facilitate your work, and especially in the emergency department. One important thing is that it also gives you, the probability of your patients being in the hospital. Sometimes patients come in, you don't know if you are to hospitalize the patient or not, but with certain scores, you can be able to tell that, no, this guy who just had the TIA can be hospitalized because the ABCD is more than 2. So that's how it is. I basically hope you guys get what I'm trying to say, the medical student. So that is why it's really important. And it is research based. This is something that they've done over years, and they've researched it, they've learned about it. And it's, even if it doesn't work 100%, for instance, some of the scores might not be exactly as we expect it to be. Most of the time, it's correct. And so you can take advantage of this. Now, sometimes you can't just be walking about with you having the values of, bilirubin, total bilirubin, conjugated bilirubin in your head. Sometimes you need this application to be able to tell if you're in the normal range. And so you can take advantage of it and then make good use of it. Finally, sometimes too, the Medcap is structured in the way that, when you are in your domain, you just are focused on your domain. That means that it's categorized. Whenever you have something that has to do with kidney, the scores are just about kidneys. They are just there. Something that has to do with the heart is just there. And so you don't mix things up. That's really the reason why I like it. And so that's why I love it as compared to the French version of the MDcak. So you can take advantage of it. It's just value. So you don't need to, be like, I'm a Francophone. And so that's to my French friends. And so I'm just taking to, the French version. Well, you can, because it has a lot more than the French version. That's why I really love it. And so make advantage of it. And I think I really love Medcap because I use most of the time. That's why, except that if I'm on vacation, obviously I wouldn't want to work. That's why I'm making, this advertisement that much. But take note, I've not paid to do that. I'm moving on with Update. Now, Update is the premium version of Medcap. Basically, that is it. Because this is an up-to-date, papers. For instance, if you are really someone who loves to read articles to know what's really happening, the best application you need is up-to-date, but your school has to purchase it. They have to have access to it in order to also have access to it. But well, I happen to have some few friends around the world that have given me access to this particular application, which is really helpful. And unfortunately, I can't share it because it's not for me. And so you can also take advantage of it. If your school provides it, you can make good use of it. So these are the applications I use day in and day out that has facilitated my stay in medical school. And as a medical intern, I'm taking advantage of it and I'm making the best out of it. This is my best 5. There are a lot that I have that I can't really share. I have, the Prime, the PopMed, and a whole lot, but I can't share them today because I don't have that much of the time. So if you are really interested in those ones, all you have to do is just DM me, just send me a message away, and I'll be ready to respond to you guys. So this has been it. Do well to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. Leave a comment and leave a like if you really enjoyed this video. See you guys in the next one.